Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Let's thank our members first. Overleaning 11B, Cots, and Crazy Bull, thank you for being the full crew members. Thank you all the Foxpan members and the Fishpan members for helping out. And yeah, let's get into the video. Make sure to subscribe. Today we are checking out the Jaguar E, basically the main one of the main prizes on the overpowered event, and we're going to take a look on it and fly out a little bit just to show a little bit on it. Obviously it's basically the same aircraft as we have in the Jaguar A over here. It's basically the same, same BR. It has the same flares and chaff, same missiles, basically same bombs as you see. So it has the at least 2 pod here, with the BGL 400 guided bomb and the 1000 guided bomb, and also the AS-30L guided bomb. Some different rockets, as you see, a multi-dart. I don't know if the other one has it. I don't think it does, but I'm going to check it out anyway. And let's would be no, it's the same. So yeah, in the dev blog it feel like it was different. The main difference between these aircraft and the A is that it has another seat over here, and also it has IRST auto tracker. What is that? But also we have the um, we don't have the RWR, so we don't have the RWR and we have the extra weight. Okay, basically those are the differences between the Jaguar E and the Jaguar A. Let's use it let's create a loadout here. Let's use the MatAWGs obviously to protect ourselves. Let's use 2 guided BGL bombs. No, I prefer to use the missiles, the Nords, to test it out a little bit. And yeah, as you see, the Atlas pod over there doesn't have thermals, but still pretty cool. It is a laser designator as well. So yeah, but yeah, let's get into some battles, and yeah. So we are here in some air realistic. I'm going to just play in air realistic, and we are using the MatAWGs together with the AS-30 just to test a little bit of the laser missiles. It works in the same way as in the Jaguar A. As you see here, you have a 10-kilometer range, which is a very good range for such a missile. And the gimbal limits of the Atlas pods are always one of the best. So you just need to maintain the lock there, and you can basically forget that the target is there, and it will be destroyed if you have to deal with other targets, In the cockpit, it's basically the same. The only difference is that it has basically the kind of a variant of the Mirage F1 cockpit. So check that out as well, pretty interesting. But as you see here, I just fired a missile and I went for air targets, and yeah, I just maintained it there, and eventually I got the kill. Just wanted to just show a little bit on basically how the AS-30 can be very effective at long ranges. It burns for a very long time, so it's a very good missile. And to be honest, in many aspects, it's the same aircraft as Jaguar A. It's not as heavy as I thought it would feel, to be honest. I think in a marginal way, it probably loses for the Jaguar A, obviously, but in a dogfight or something. But in a general way, I think it's just alright, to be honest. It's an aircraft that it's not that bad, in the sense of the differences, So it kind of feels the same way, you have that line of thinking that you are a little bit more overweight, but you still have the MatAWGs, and it still has this weird wobbliness of the Jaguars that all the Jaguars have, which is kind of funny, that the way that they it's basically because due to the spoilers that are used as an aileron, so it kind of, how it feels a little bit artificial in a way. But yeah, it's just the way that the Jaguar flies, the GR1, the GR1A, and the A already have that feeling, so not gonna be changed in this one as well. And I think the coolest part about this, it's probably that the Jaguar E was very much exported for many countries, if I'm not mistaken. And with that, you can get a lot of skins, Right now, it only has 2 that I'm going to show at the end of the video, but in real life you could have, I mean, a lot of skins, so basically means that in live you probably will have a lot of them, and in the market in the future probably will have some as well. But it's one of those aircraft that, if you ask me if it's worth it, I think it's worth to sell it, to be honest, because for like 90% of the players, you know, because maybe if you are not a French player, main player, you know, maybe you can, I don't know, get this aircraft to research the tree, or maybe, I don't know, just have, if you have the tanks and you don't have the aircraft, you can use it as a ground attacker for your tanks, you know. But other than that, there's not much reason to use it. I think it's more of a collector item than, but I mean, basically most marketplace aircraft that we see in these events are normally like that. But still, I think it's an aircraft that, even though it is a very, very good aircraft, it's just basically the same as the A. So if you don't mind collecting this Jaguar, just it doesn't, it's not that worth, you know. So for you, so it's, I guess it's a kind of one of those aircraft that if you like the aircraft, you keep it. If you don't like it, or if you don't mind it, you will basically sell it. So yeah, I don't know. But basically all the vehicles from the event, I think they are not very, very much like a very different aircraft that, or a vehicle that we already have in game, right? So it's, I don't know. I always comes to the, it always comes to the personal preference. I always use the MiG-21 example, because I'm a very big fan of the MiG-21, and it makes me like, I don't know, like probably all the MiG-21s that I will ever get, I will buy every single one of them and get every single one of them, just because I love the aircraft so much. And that might be one of the things that we see in here, you know. If you are a Jaguar fan, that I know there is a lot of people that are, it might be a very good option to keep it, you know. But if you are not, it's just another Jaguar, you know. So yeah, I don't know. But it is a very fun aircraft. The cannons are a bit problematic sometimes, as all the FAs are, but still, it's useful, and they are 30 millimeters, so they do a lot of damage. They're just a little bit hard to hit the targets, you know. As you see, the max speed, you can go Mach 1 at low altitudes. So yeah, it's a fast aircraft in a general way. It's not the most fast, the faster an aircraft can get at this BR. It's a 10.3. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that as well. A lot of people are complaining about the A10 being a 10.3, man. But for example, this Jaguar, um, it is fine in 10.3. It rarely faces 11.3s. That's the thing about 10.3s. I think it's a perfect middle ground for some of the aircraft, because they rarely will face full up down tiers, you know. Not rarely, but less than a 9.7 or 10.0, obviously. And then it's rare to see an up tier of a full up tier of 11.3. So I don't know. It's a kind of a mix between that, but yeah, I think it's a perfect VR for the Jaguar, and I think it will be the perfect VR for the A10 as well. I think the Su-25 should be upward, should be up as well there, but still. But yeah, I think there are some problems with this aircraft. As I said, the max speed of it is not the greatest, but you're not facing like a lot of more faster aircraft. You know, you're facing a couple of them can be faster than you, a MiG-20, MiG-21, an F4, for example here. The Mitsubishi F1, as you saw before, it was faster than me. So it depends very much on the aircraft that you are fighting, but generally it's a good enough speed, you know. The engines are very efficient in the fuel consumption, so that's always a plus, you know. It turns very well, but it loses a lot of energy. You know, the way that the wings work and the way that the empennage work basically means that you lose a lot of energy when you're turning, so be careful with that. The engines are not that powerful in acceleration. They just have a very good, aircraft itself has a very good aerodynamic uh, drag coefficient, basically, which means it's the higher speed, the max speed of the aircraft is pretty alright for such a low power engine, to be honest. And I think the main problem with it is the amount of payload. You know, if you can take the bombs, if you take the bombs, it's a lot of bombs in general, but not for a 10.3. It's just alright. But especially the guided bombs and guided missiles, it's just basically two, I mean, that you can carry each time. Because you need to carry the pod in the middle. So if you are using it, you are basically confined to use just two of them, because you kind of want to take the magics as well, obviously. So yeah, that's the main problem with it, is that with the AS-30L and the guided bombs, the laser guided bombs, um, you only are able to carry two of them, no matter what bomb or what missile it is, you know. Another problem that you can think of is obviously that it doesn't have the thermals that the GR1 has it, the GR1A has it. And it is a higher BR than that. So for ground battles, it still is going to be a little bit less effective if you think about it. But obviously the Jaguar 1A has the same problems as this one. It still carries just two bombs, and it's still laser guided even though you have the thermals. So I don't know. I still prefer to have the S30 than the thermals, to be honest, because the S30 is a very, very good missile. Here you can see me trying to hit a Su-25, but it doesn't have a proximity fuse. So yeah, the target even, I don't think he even saw my missile. But yeah, it doesn't have a proximity fuse, so it completely missed. If he had it, it would have killed him. But still, it was worth to try, right? So yeah, it burns for a very long time, and it's a very, very long range missile. I mean, 10 kilometers, you can safely just shoot from 10 kilometers and maintain a very good position away from the AA systems in the ground battles. So that's always a plus, you know. Not many aircraft can do that, especially with guided, laser guided stuff instead of TV guided stuff. So it is a very capable aircraft, and I think it's worth it as a ground attacker if you don't have any ground attackers right now in France, but you have the tanks. As I said before, it can be a very, very effective weapon. Other reasons to keep it, maybe you like the Jaguars, as I said, but beyond that, I would just say to sell it. It's worth 50 gaijins right now, and use that money to buy 1 year of premium when the anniversary comes, which will be half price. So yeah, it's always worth to do that. I always do that. And I advise you guys to do that as well. Just before mounting the aircraft or the tank or the ship, I would suggest checking it out which one has the highest price, because right now technically the boat has the highest price, which is 52 gaijins from the time I saw. So yeah, that might change, but still, it's a very interesting prospect to use the gaijins instead of using an aircraft that is basically already in the game, right? But anyway, I understand that a lot of people like it, and it's still fun to use. Yeah. So yeah, basically this is it for the battles. But yeah, guys, this is it. Just wanted to show lastly the other skin. So we have this one, obviously, and we have this one, if you haven't seen. So pretty interesting one, kind of a shark there. So pretty cool. And yeah. So anyway, I see you guys on the next one, and bye, guys. See ya.